it's time to go beyond Plus Ultra for another Boku no Hero Academia review.
I want my points. I want my points, boy.
Points for what?
The search.
Yes, you called that.
I'd also like my points that we're going to see next episode.
And that would be for...
The kaiju fight between Mount Lady and Gigantomachia.
I mean, that was kind of obvious that that would happen, because didn't they fight before?
Nope.
Oh, I could have sworn they had some kind of brawl before.
Not that I'm aware of. If it was off screen.
Oh,
Like
okay.
when Machia first showed up, maybe. But I don't remember if Mount Lady was there, and we never saw that fight. It was off screen.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a sprinkling of points.
Points.
These are chocolate raspberry flavor.
I do like the flavor combination. Nom 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 points.
Mm. So I do like the fact that they're replaying scenes from previous episodes, but slightly extended and tweaked.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have the scene of HQ calling out to Endeavor and failing to reach him, and then cutting over to Fat Gum chasing after Tsukiyomi, saying, like, oh no, a giant bottom! Oh wait, here comes Tsukiyomi with an injured Hawks!
Oh my god, the connections being made.
And Cementos is blocking Giten's ice attack.
It seems like it's a pretty even back and forth with that, honestly. It's just a matter of who's focusing more, because, like, the initial hit where, like, all the ice comes out seems to have knocked back Cementos. But even then, as Cementos is, like, trying to get stuff together, the ice is going to come back down and hit him if, Mount Lady hadn't popped in
Yeah, because
and
Cementos
started
is
swinging around a cement bat.
yeah, because Cementos is only blocking things in front of him because he can't just create a thing above his head, right?
It seems to be tied to the ground, yes.
So couldn't
Um,
he like make an arc above his head?
Arguably he could, but he also needs to see. So you could only have so much clearance there.
Right, right. And the
Um,
cement bat thing, that was cool.
Giant cement bat. But yeah, he's trying to, like, shatter the little glacier that's now appeared there.
And I could not find him in the Boku no Hero wiki, but was there a hero with a gun for a head?
I did see that, and I'm like, oh, cool, Gunhead. I have no idea who this is, but it's a neat design.
Yes? Like, I did not find a name for him or a quirk for him.
Random background there character.
Yeah, this was a bunch of random background character episode.
You know what's funny? I There's a point where we see Burnin in here with her green hair,
And it
and
was
it is
moving this
flowing.
time.
It was flowing appropriately, and all of a sudden she's floating. I'm like, wait a minute, did we ever get her quirk? And I went to look it up, and it's completely unnamed. I'm like, all right, cool. Apparently, it lets her fly though. Whatever it is, it lets her fly.
I thought her quirk was just her hair.
The wiki does not say what it is. It just says unnamed fire quirk, and it doesn't have anything as far as what it does.
Oh yeah, that's right. I think we discussed this last season. What
We
her...
might have.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm disappointed by it though, because, like, I love her design. I just wish that they gave us more info.
Well,
She's like a decently prominent character right now.
well, maybe once all this is over with, and I mean like this series in a whole, maybe Oh, I forget
Oh, they'll
who.
probably have like a whole dictionary on like the characters and the quirks.
Yeah, because I'm blanking on the creator's name.
Mm, I'm blanking myself. I don't
Yeah,
got
but
it.
he'll probably be like, "Oh yeah, here's all the quirks that I only half developed. I'm going to like fully develop them out now, and yeah, like you said, put out a quirk dictionary."
It would not shock me if that ends up happening. I'm honestly surprised that we haven't gotten. We probably have one, but it's probably for like the main cast and shit.
Hmm.
Not like the extensiveness of like the other ones.
And it's going to be on Premium Bandai. I
Buy
don't
the
know.
book. You'll find out what it is.
Yeah, yeah. And Dobby was talking to Compress and just,
Yeah,
yep. Hey, did you hear Twice is dead?
yeah. Pretty sure Twice is dead, and I like how Dobby does not even say a word.
Yeah, and
Because
Toga is super pissed.
I kind of assumed that was going to happen,
Yeah.
especially considering the way the opening has her like ripping her red scarf off.
Mhm.
Specifically, I believe that's the one that she gave twice too.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, she's very mad.
Mhm.
She's going nuts. I want to see what the fuck that means for her.
Like,
Cause
will
I
her quirk evolve? Like you were saying?
will it evolve more is part of it. My other question becomes like, what is the criteria to save her? That's the whole thing with Deku being like, the world's greatest hero or whatever. Whenever we get that full intro, like that first monologue we had for, I don't think they did it in the sixth season, but I'm pretty sure for the first four at least they did it.
And by save her, you mean turn her into a hero or not?
I'm more like keep her from being a villain, from being an outright I'm just gonna straight murder people.
Oh, okay.
Bring her back to an acceptable in an acceptable way to society.
Mm. So, like, more reform her.
I guess yeah, that'd be a way to look at it. I don't know
Send
if that's the term I want to use, but it's as close as I think I'm gonna get right now. But
if I
yeah.
if I were Deku, I would send her to Arkham.
Well, the other question would be like, is it easier to reform her or reform society itself and the way it works?
What are you, Bane? You can't be Bane. Bane's evil.
Why does Rookwiji know Bang?
Because, like, wasn't one of the characters Bane?
I mean, Bane is a Batman villain.
Yeah, but I
I
could.
don't think his whole thing was reform society though. From what I can remember, it's been a minute.
Yeah, but I know one. Who was the main villain in three?
Wasn't it multiple? Bane and someone else, I thought.
No, 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 no. In Banner Saga 3,
Oh,
not the Bellower.
it was what's his face? The dude with the black hair and shit
Yeah, but
who kept chasing you down.
I'm pretty sure you gave him a Bane voice.
I don't think I did.
Hmm.
I don't remember what voice I gave him. I don't remember ever doing a Bane voice.
Hmm.
Actually, you were that character, not me.
Oh, okay.
I was the froggy one. Thought he
Hmm.
was a little bit more like a Kermit.
Yeah, yeah. Like there was so many voices for that, and that was so long. Like I forget it.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember we had fun with the voices,
Man, look at these tangents we're going on.
especially Ollie.
Oh God, just put a bullet in him and end it already. I was so tempted to try and find a way to kill him, but I never found a good option just to end that fucking voice.
mm. And Gigantomachia pops up. His,
He's a little mad because Shiguraki's awake.
yep, and his hand just bursts through the floor, and we cut away.
Yep, with a naked toga. She's slowly losing her disguise.
Yes. And
Oh,
Shiguraki.
wait.
Yes.
Shigaraki has bullets. Some of those bullets he grabbed. I don't know if those were the originals and not the copies,
Mm-hmm.
but it did look like he grabbed some of them out right before he grabbed out the hand mask as well.
Mm-hmm. And Shigaraki hears All for One, and he senses Deku's presence.
Calling the whole all for one thing, if nothing else, it's definitely the will that's in there, if not the personality.
So, will you say the quirk, or like the vestige of All for One, will take him over, or will
I
All
feel
for...
like thematically that's the best way to go.
Okay, okay. So, like,
After all, it is all for one.
so like, the original All for One won't find some way to take him over and reclaim his youth, per se?
I think he's just going to take over Shigaraki as a whole.
Through the vestige?
I want to say yes.
Ah.
Like at this point, like the only hanging thread at this point to stop me from thinking that really, especially with what we're seeing now and him just going through this almost immediately, right? Unless, of course, this is something that the doctor potentially implanted at the request of All for One. Don't know.
Oh.
That could be. I don't know for sure. The only thing that makes me think that is that the original All for One is still alive. So that means there's technically two of them.
Ooh.
And he still has a duplicate of his original quirk. So again, there's technically two of him.
Huh. And Endeavor uses a new attack, Hell Curtain?
Yeah, he comes flying in and he's just like, oh, fuck me, I gotta stop this shit.
And Shigaraki manages to walk through it, which shocks Endeavor because nobody with like low heat resistance won't be able to handle the flames.
To anyone without any kind of heat resistance. And clearly, Shigaraki does not have that.
But he
Even,
does have super regeneration.
yeah, I feel like, based on what we saw, feasibly, if Endeavor had been able to hold him down there long enough, he probably could have killed him. But that regeneration keeps it from happening instantly.
Yeah.
If it was the fact that, like, oh, the regeneration is perfect and it's regenerating faster than the flames could deal damage, then he wouldn't have regenerated outside of the fire, right?
Mm-hmm.
So feasibly, if you could lock him down, you could burn him to death.
Yes.
But Shigaraki apparently is like, nah, bro, I can jump.
No, not fly. Jump good.
Yes, jump good. So he jumps up, palm out, trying to decay Endeavor. Doesn't quite work. Endeavor does make the dodge.
And he has a hole in his hand, it seems now.
I believe that is a quirk we learn about later.
Ah, okay, okay.
Because we do get to see Endeavor try to hit him, and some kind of shield blocks the flame. And I believe from what Shigaraki says, it's actually air pressure being pumped out of his hand.
That's right.
Speaking of, that's a Naruto reference, I feel like. Because there was a character in Naruto that had that ability. He did not live long, but he did have that exact ability of a hole in his hand and air being pushed out of it.
Moroku from Inuyasha, that's who I was thinking of, but he kind of has that in reverse, where air is sucked into his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Except if it's, like, covered up by some, like, special talisman or something like that.
I don't know. I've watched very little Inuyasha.
Yeah, but I think it was, like, his family's cursed by this, and eventually he will be sucked into his own hand because, like, the wind pressure will be too strong for him to handle.
Mm-hmm.
So, interesting.
Yeah, Shigaraki keeps hearing All for One's voice screaming at him, saying one for all, one for all. You know, the obsession is, at the very minimum, is here, just dragging Shigaraki along with it. And oh, hey, look, I was right. Shigaraki has search implanted from Ragdoll.
Mm-hmm.
And conveniently, one of the last people that quirk was activated when being used, had spotted Deku. Because if you recall, I believe we mentioned it last week, this thing can hold up to 30 people within its memory of people that it can track and know how to defeat.
And that is not good for Deku.
Nope. And
Luckily,
something he's unaware of.
luckily Bakugo is with him.
Here's what I'm curious about, like how specific Search's ability is. Because my thought process is, does the information Search gets apply upon the time when a person is looked at with the quirk? Because Deku has changed in the last however long it's been, like what year or so,
Um,
like a lot from that first point.
actually, from what I've read or from heard, this entire series will take place over the course of 1 year because
All right,
there's still
6 months.
class 1A, not 2A.
Mm-hmm.
And 2A would mean their second year. So maybe yeah, I'm not too sure when the Japanese I thought the Japanese school year starts around April or May.
I think so. And if the winter holiday event was anything to go by, it's like we've broken back into spring.
Yeah, so the next few season or this last saga will be very tightly packed time-wise.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, what was it? Last season was basically events happening at the same time between, Villain Academia and the Endeavor Saga.
Yeah.
Like, that shit was happening at the exact same time. The way I understood it, anyway. Whereas this, we're watching two different events play out, again, at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, but rather than cutting it down the middle for the season, we're literally watching it flip back and forth.
Mm-hmm. And Deku
But
escaped.
yeah,
Well, like,
I was going to say Deku has changed. So again, my question going back to the original, does Search account for the differences since when it was used to first look at him versus now?
I
Or
hope
does it
not,
not?
because then Shiguraki will be surprised by Black Whip.
Yep, Shiguraki would not know about. Yeah, that's the thing. If it's only from when Ragdoll originally looked at Deku with it, that would mean that he would have no idea about Black Whip. He would have no idea about how the style that Deku uses has changed to kicks rather than punches. He would have no idea about his new like air shot gear that he's got on his arms, or like the Iron Toed boots now.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, he
Um,
wouldn't know Deku's technique for switching from like whatever percent he was using before to what he's using now, and then changing at the last instant. Because we learned that he's generally using 30%
and
most
going
of the time.
45 right at the impact.
Yeah, right at the impact. Techniques like that and such might not be accounted for if Search works in the way I think it does.
So Deku leaves his friends to save them and goes off to distract Shiguraki because he knows Shiguraki is coming after him.
Well, he overhears Endeavor say something about all one for all over the radio, and immediately Deku's like, oh, he's looking for me.
Yeah, because Shiguraki says, like, all, all for one, no, one for all, and Endeavor's like, what's one for all?
I think he's aware of what it is. Like I'm pretty sure he knows that was All Might's original quirk.
But he sounded a little bit surprised.
Yeah, because All Might doesn't have it anymore. It's a dead quirk as far as he's aware.
Oh.
I mean, he has no idea that it can be passed on to another person.
Let me just look at this. Yeah, I don't know if Endeavor knew.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, okay.
He was never kept in the loop. He wasn't anyone that would have been kept in the loop. It's been very tightly kept.
Okay, so, but he did know that All for One was the name of All Might's quirk.
I would assume so, considering like all the merchandising and shit that goes on with Heroes, like
Okay.
trading cards and shit. I would assume everyone knows that Endeavor's quirk is called Hellfire.
Hmm.
You know,
Okay.
I'm assuming that that's the case. Like that makes sense to me given the way that things are done. People have names for their quirks. You know, it's merchandised even in the show. It's one of those things. Hell, like even when we get that cut flashback over to Ragdoll where she's like, "Oh man, I could help everyone if I still had search." Like she has a name for the quirk.
Ah, okay.
Hawks did when Tsukiyomi was talking about it. Like everyone has names for their quirks. It does not shock me that the name would be kept quiet.
Okay, okay. Fair enough.
So yeah, Endeavor would probably be shocked because he thinks it's a dead quirk.
And Bakugo wants revenge on Shiguraki?
Yeah, after being forced and pinned down and being like, "Hey, join us," and then in his mind having All Might lose his powers in order to save him. Yeah, it's both like a guilt and a way to be like, I can get revenge for like my own fucked up way of failing.
And just the fact that Deku is saying, like, Bakugo, why are you following me? I'm not following you, idiot! And just like
You're
the
the bait. Don't get in my way.
the expressions they have in that scene were hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Here's the fun part, though. Apparently, Shigaraki has some kind of radio wave quirk because he combines that with his air pressure that he
And
has.
he amps everybody.
Yeah, he short circuits. Well, no, he doesn't actually.
I thought he
He,
I thought he amped everybody.
yes, but he also at the same time triggers all the Nomu.
Oh.
So it's not an EMP. I don't know if it's just a different frequency because whatever it does triggers the Nomu at the same time. If it was an EMP, it would have disabled it all.
Okay.
So yeah, communications are fried. It's
Yeah,
it's a lot of back and forth.
right before the frequency got fried, Deku is talking to Endeavors, is just explaining, like, hey, I want to lead him away. Tell me if he changes direction.
Yeah, he's following me. There's a damn good chance he's following me. I can't tell you the details until after this, but like let me know which way he's heading. And after getting that information, that's when we fry everything. Oh, after Endeavor manages to tell everyone that he's changed.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we get a shot of what is it? We get a shot of oh fuck me, I'm blanking on his name. DJ Hero. Oh fuck me.
President Mike.
There we go. Present Mike and the doctor being like he's almost like a perfect Nomu, or I think maybe that's what Present Mike says because the
No,
doctor's kind of describing it.
the doctor was saying he, yeah, he's basically a perfect Nomu.
Hmm. Because what we learn is, as Aizawa manages to get there and Gran Torino pulls out Bakugo and Deku before they get decayed, because that's what would have happened immediately.
Yeah, and because Deku gets a vision of death, of them decaying.
He said he had it in Kamino, so it was almost a flashback. But at the same time, I am wondering if this is like some kind of precognition quirk that maybe one of the others have leaking through here, like one of the other vestiges.
You know,
Because
I
it's way more detailed, and I don't remember this specific scene playing out before.
you know, I think within this season, he will unlock. Okay, wait. Deku is the ninth. So he has Black Whip.
We have at minimum 7 total. Black Whip being acquired means 6. Actually, 5. Because the original one had all for one already, or one for all already.
Okay, so
So
I'm going
discount All Might because he supposedly doesn't have one.
muscle form?
Discount the I don't know. That's arguable. I don't know.
Okay.
That could be a quirk. It might not be a quirk. I don't know. It could just be the way he was using it somehow.
Okay, I'm going to guess he will unlock.
So sorry. Let's just get the numbers down quick first before you continue.
Okay.
So we have 8 total prior people. Get rid of 1 for All Might.
Get
Get rid
rid
of
of one for
1
Black Whip
for
and get
Black Whip,
one of
and
the
get rid of 1.
original.
So that's 5 left.
I'm
One of which we know is Float.
I am going to guess he will unlock 3 of them before this season is over.
Okay, that's a fair number. I was going to say at minimum 2, but I can
Okay.
definitely see 3 within that.
Okay.
The question is going to be: is it going to go crazy like Black Whip, or is he going to have full control? Because I'll be honest, I'm a little shocked at how much control Shigaraki has over his stuff right away.
It's like he's always had them. It's like he was born with these quirks.
Again, I'm very curious how. Well, no, it's arguable with the doctor that he already had, that he implanted them all then, or at least most of them.
And there's this mummy hero that can like change trajectory by making hoops,
Kiddo, yes.
which is interesting.
But yeah, all the other heroes pop in. They're all like, "Yeah, we're gonna take him out with all of us." Even Gran Torino's like, "Yeah, what's the point of the surplus of heroes if we can't take out one guy? He's only one guy." And then all the Nomu show up. He's not just one guy anymore.
Yeah.
He's got another army.
Oh no.
I will say the doctor does say he's not as strong as All Might, but like all the jumping and like movement shit is literally just his muscle mass. Like the strength of his muscles doing that.
Mm-hmm. And
Because Aizawa is there shutting down his quirk and he's still able to move like this.
yeah, and he seems to have wide jumping because he seemed to be not like Superman flying, more like vertically flying.
Mm-hmm.
Like because when I think of like super jumping, I usually think of extra high jumps, but it seemed like he was doing extra long jumps.
I don't see why you couldn't do both if your power is like super jumps.
Mm-hmm.
I don't it's just a matter of changing the angle of the jump.
Yeah, yeah.
You could probably do either. Or in his case, he could jump real high and then do what he did there with Endeavor and just throw his arm to the side and push himself off against literal air pressure.
Yeah, yeah.
Honestly, he's technically doing what Bakugo's doing, except without the explosions.
Hmm.
It's kind of the same thing now that I'm thinking about it.
I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, I'm back.
You're gonna have so many cuts in this because of all the interruptions and delays.
Yeah.
Very strangely similar to the way Bakugo's explosions would work for how he would fly. That's really it. Next episode, we get kaiju fights. And there's
No move
what?
fights?
More Nomu fights. The other main heroes are trying to fight Shiguraki in the meantime, with Aizawa keeping him pinned down without his quirks. That's keeping them from being overwhelmed, but not keeping them from killing him, or at least taking him out.
Yeah, so I'm not too sure what they're going to do.
I will say we got a water hero just, keeping Aizawa from getting dry eyes.
Yes, yes.
That I
Like-
do find funny.
Like, that's one of his sidekicks, right?
I don't think it's Aizawa's sidekick. I forget. We've seen him before. Is it one of Endeavor's? I don't remember who it is.
But why would Endeavor have a watery hero?
Why wouldn't you want to have someone who could put out your fire if it spreads too far?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Immediate shutdown of your question.
Yeah. I mean, like, I didn't think of that because he seemed to only have a little bit of water and not, like, a
I don't
lot.
I don't know if that's just the way he's using it. I mean, these are eyes. You have to be sensitive with how you use your water. You can't
Yes.
just fire a high pressure water thing into it. Plus, Aizawa can't have his vision obstructed. Otherwise, didn't fucking Shigaraki gets his quirk back. His quirks back.
I don't see a name for him.
Marine, I think? It was there, I believe, in the thing. Mariner, maybe? Was that it? Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Alright, let's see here. This is the scene. Hey, we got a name for this guy, because I swore we got a name. Civilians, yep, temporarily got away. Cool. Alright, let's try here.
Manual.
There you go. Manual or Manuel?
Mm,
Pro Hero Manual, yep.
oh, unnamed water quirk.
Yep, so they don't have a name for it. Does it say who he's affiliated with?
Uh, Based out of Hosu City, he is currently the 222nd pro hero.
Let me see here. Yep, 222, based out of Hosu. Maybe we've seen him with Gang Orca when they were working
Oh
around there.
yeah, maybe.
Might have been working with Sue and them during that. I'm not
Uh-huh.
sure. He was in the internships. So yeah, he would have been in one of them.
Yeah, but oh boy. Next time, I'm just worried about Shiguraki.
Are you worried for him or worried about what he could do?
Worried about what he could do.
I mean, if it's any consolation, I don't think we saw too much of what he was doing in the preview. I think we're mostly going to be focused back on the hospital,
Then
or not the
I'm
hospital, on the other villains.
then I'm worried about 2 episodes from now.
Yeah, I think we're back with Makia for the most part. We might get a little bit back with Shigaraki, but it definitely seems like it's going to be a Makia thing.
So next time, Makia.
Kaiju fight! Kaiju fight! Kaiju fight!
So come back with us next time for a kaiju fight. Kaiju fight.
Cementos, make more weapons. I want Mount Lady with a giant sword.
Yes.
Cement armor, come on.
Ooh, but could he make that much cement for her?
I mean, we did, if you remember, back during the tournament arc, in like season 2, he made a bunch of fucking walls that were between Shoto and Deku
Hmm.
to like try and break the impact so they didn't kill each other essentially.
Well, until next time, we'll catch everybody later.
Bye.
Kaiju fight. Kaiju fight.
I want a kaiju fight. Don't you want a kaiju fight?